right? We're going to setting up live here. And the notepad, we're going to be going live. We are live. Make sure you got all the notes. The episode just ended. 7:30, it wrapped up. What a fun episode that was, fishing with Cliff Meidl. An Olympic athlete. I mean, what an accomplishment. So we're going to be standing here for a few minutes, wait a minute or two for a few more folks to jump on here, and we're going to be discussing what went on, how we caught them, who we were with, and we're even going to have a guest joining us, Matt Ledbetter, here in a little bit. Matt was on the episode, and it was a pleasure fishing with him. I actually met him through a friend of mine, Mike Helton, with Denali Rods, and Mike set us up to fish with Matt while we were down at Lake Lanier. And what a great guy, and we'll be looking forward to hearing from him while we're on here tonight as well. I see some folks are jumping on here. We got Crean Sullivan, Matt Ledbetter, he's already watching. We're going to be having him join us here in a few. So, now Christopher, you got me a little, this is interesting. Last week I didn't have an iPad and I didn't interact with everybody. So Tracy Brandt, she just put on there a great show. It was awesome getting Tracy, you know Cliff, and what a great guy Cliff is. And Nick, you're playing some dominoes back here.
Yeah,
you're making a lot of noise. My kids. But it was awesome just getting to get in the boat with Cliff Meidl. So, hey, this thing's lagging behind the other one. So we got Tracy Bryant on here, Todd Bennett. We got Georgia 811 putting woohoo. We want to thank Georgia 811 for sponsoring that episode. Cliff has a unique story to share. And we'll talk a little more about that later on here in a few. But he is a great ambassador for 811 and the realism of that you really need to call and know what utilities are in the ground, because he was injured by a facility that was in the ground. And Georgia 811, Megan Wade, that team of folks down there, Cliff does a lot of spokeswork for them and goes out and speaks about the importance of 811. And Cliff's actually on a plane tonight, flying right now. I was hoping to have him join us. We're going to make that up here. We're not sure when, but we're going to do another Facebook Live, and we're going to have Cliff. Because if you haven't ever met Cliff, he's one of these inspiring guys that when you are around him, he's enthusiastic, he's a go-getter, he's just positive energy. And standing next to him in that boat, oh my, I mean, it was unreal. And to think he got to go and represent the U.S. and then on his home country, you know, right in Lake Lanier, Georgia in the 1996 Olympics, kayaking. Wow. I mean, you know, I think he said there was 100,000 people, you know, just chanting and cheering and rooting for you. And that's like, I mean, could you imagine that feeling? Ryan English, we see you on there. Like your comment, I don't know about a legend, but Ryan, you're a good friend. Always enjoy you and your folks over at your place. You guys take care of a lot of my equipment for me in the landscape business. And, you know, Louisville Outdoor, we appreciate you, Ryan English. Who else on that screen? Oh, there's Megan Wade. She's writing looking good. I don't know about looking good, but we're having fun. So, but to get to talking a little bit about the episode this week, we were on Lake Lanier in Georgia. We were joined by Olympic Kayaker Cliff Meidl. Cliff Meidl participated in the 1996 Olympics on Lake Lanier. If you go to Lanier, there's actually an Olympic venue kayaking people. They're still training down there. When you're on the lake, you see them rowing. Then we had some video footage of all of that. It was neat to take him back to where he participated at and to listen to his stories. Is Matt still on there? We need to get Matt connected on here because we're going to want to talk to him a little bit about Lake Lanier and what we did there. There's Matt right there on the screen. We just got to reach up and touch him. So we're going to bring Matt. All right, you ain't showed up on my screen yet, but I'm watching this week. Oh, look at this. These kids are over here. Now, these kids have got it down pat. They've got their dominoes down here. Christopher, you need to spin that around and put it on the dominoes. They've got 811 spelled out on the table here in the dominoes. We liking you kids. This is my little baby Lauren right here. And this is my middle son, Nick. He's my 12-year-old. Actually, me and him just went and filmed an episode down on Dale Hollow Lake. And then behind the camera right there, Matt, there you are, man.
Hey.
How you doing this evening?
I'm doing great.
Good.
How about you guys?
You know, I've been on here, and you've probably been listening, been talking a little bit about Cliff and Lake Lanier, and I think I'm gonna turn it over to you for a minute and just tell me what the experience was like and just getting to stand in the boat and be on the body of water with Cliff of where he was at the Olympics.
And it was really cool to listen to him. You know, first of all, his story of what all he went through, and then to make it into the Olympics was just incredible to hear. And just, you know, when he talked about it was so cool about, you know, just talking about him talking about representing his country. It was just a neat story. It was a really neat story. It's just not your typical.
No, we weren't standing
story.
next to just a fisherman there by no means.
Exactly.
And then he shows us up catching the first fish. I mean, I thought we were supposed to be the fishermen there, but
yeah.
Yeah, it was. And you know, to hear him talk about, I think he said, I believe 120,000 people when he went to the second Olympics in Sydney or whatever. And I mean, that's amazing, you know, what he accomplished after going through that. You know, to think that one day you're literally fearing that you're not going to be there tomorrow. Was amazing. But, you know, it was fun to hear all those stories. But Cliff really got into this fishing thing, and I don't know that he didn't have a little bit of competitiveness coming out in there.
I was about to say he definitely had that competitiveness still, and it was funny.
Yeah, he definitely. And when he caught that first fish, and he went on to catch a couple more there, but I mean, you know, for a guy that's never been in a boat and been out there bass fishing and all that, I mean, he picked that spinning rod up and went right to work and just, I mean, he never let up. I mean, he did not sit down, go to eating. I mean, he was cast for cast with us all day long.
Absolutely. He hung in there all day long. Absolutely.
So you are, Georgia's, I guess, your home, correct?
It is. Yep. I live about 30 minutes from Lake Lanier.
So, of course, Lanier didn't show off its greatness while we were there. It was a little tough on us, and we had to grind it out. We still made a great show, and but you know, I think one of the comments you made to me about Lanier is that it can humble you pretty quick. It can be really good.
Absolutely. It can. It's fishing really good right now. I haven't been lately. I've heard some guys talking about some fish already starting to pull up on bed here this week. I've seen the tournaments going on. They've had some big bags weighed in for sure. It's loaded with big spotted bass.
And for folks that haven't been there, Lanier is, I'm going to describe it as clear.
Yep, it is. It's a deep, clear lake. It's loaded with blueback herring. That's the main forage species in the lake. those big spotted bass, they get out, depending on the time of year, but they'll stay deep in that clear water. Finesse techniques are the way to catch them up there. Jerk baits, fish head spin types. It's not a lot of power fishing up there.
Gotcha. Well, we got a lot more folks joining us. We've got Brody McWilliams. We've got Stacy English. We've got Austin Smith. We got a lot of great folks. We got Melissa Jennings on here, and Melissa, her husband Jimmy, I get to fish with him quite often. Of course, he just gives me a hard time everywhere we go. But Matt, tell me, I met you from Mike Hilton, a good friend of ours.
Yep.
You got a pretty unique job, a pretty fun job. You seem enthusiastic about it. And just tell me a little bit about your tournaments, what your engagement in fishing is, and a little about yourself.
Yeah. I've got I've been really blessed. I've got a great job. I work for a company called the Outdoor Brand Team, and basically I'm a sales rep for fishing tackle. And I travel around the Southeast, and the brands we rep for the Outdoor Brand Team, we obviously with Mike Kelton, Denali Rods is one company we work for. We work for Spro and Gamakatsu as well. And then I do Big Bite Baits is another company, and Sunline. They make great fishing line. And then Dirty Jigs is another company.
Yeah, I got a little Sunline in today, matter of fact, right there.
Yeah, there you go.
So got some new spools of that, and was needing to restock on a little bit of stuff. So,
yeah.
But yeah, and what we really got to know each other in the last 2 years, I guess, year and a half, 2 years after meeting with Mike and me coming down to Lanier, and of course we had a great time, and it's become a lot of fun, a good friendship ever since then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Phone calls and giving each other a hard time. Of course, that's what it's all about.
That's it.
When we were down there, one of the baits that I was throwing, and people see me throwing quite a bit, and I learned about it a few years ago, was a good old stupid tube. This little tube right here, and the little hook that you use that makes it kind of unique. We caught a number of, I think the majority of those fish in particular on that stupid tube down there near. I threw it 2 different ways, and when this goes to the Denali Rods right here, when talking about you repping for them and getting their product out there, and the great product that Mike and them offer. And we got the new, let's see, the Vision series, isn't that our newest one?
Yep, the Vision was the new one for 2018. It's a $89 retail rod. It comes in, I think it's 3 spinning, 3 casting, 4 casting models.
Definitely. Yep. And they got the Vision, the Attack series, and then the Covert Light, which was one of the rods I was actually throwing down there.
Yep.
I was actually throwing that 7'2" medium finesse jig rod.
Yep.
I like throwing it. I've got a shaky head actually tied on it right now, but I like to, throw my stupid tube on this as well. Yeah. I'll throw this. The thing I like about this rod is I can throw 8 or 10 pound line, and it still has enough backbone to it, but enough tip that I don't, when I set the hook, end up breaking the line.
Yep.
And it's but this Covert Light series, this 7'2" finesse jig rod, one of my favorites for throwing that tube on.
Yep, that rod right there, it's got a kind of a slow action. It does great. That fluorocarbon line, that low stretch fluorocarbon line does great on that rod.
Yep, and then the other rod that Cliff was using, and I believe I was using throughout as well, was then the Lithium series, and I was throwing that 7-foot medium heavy, which is I think they label it the shaky head rod.
Shaky head rod. And, that's the one I was fishing with.
Is that what you had as well?
Yep, that's what I was throwing on. Yep.
And I love throwing that stupid tube on that. It's you throw that 8 pound line, and I imagine y'all might have to go lighter than that sometimes on Lanier.
They've got in the Covert in a spinning rod and in a 7.2 medium heavy that I also like to throw that stuff on. It does well with a shaky head or a tube type deal.
Gotcha. And Well, while we were down there, of course, your great state of Georgia is where we were at. And of course, 811, we're always talking about the message of 811 and call them before you dig. Georgia 811 was the folks that put us down there, Megan Wade and her team. And they, of course, we put the big Georgia 811 right there on the deck of the boat, and we show it off. But, it's those folks making that happen with Cliff, me, and you, and all of us getting out there to talk about safety and Cliff, what happened to Cliff. We appreciate them for letting us come down there and get together and go out for a day of fishing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was those guys are definitely, that call before you dig, man. That's definitely can definitely be a saver.
Oh, absolutely. We can save a life, and I talk about it every week as a landscaper. When you're a landscaper, you understand it. But anything else come to your mind about the trip?
No, nothing really. I hope Cliff gets to see this, and I really enjoyed meeting him and listening to his story. It was really cool. I really enjoyed that. He was a great guy. And I enjoyed spending the day fishing with him and just hearing his whole story with the Olympics and all. It was really neat.
Oh, that was pretty meaningful. But I enjoyed fishing with you as well, and I've enjoyed our friendship blossoming and growing. And that's the fun part of the direction. Getting to do the television show, traveling around, getting to go all these places. It's amazing the great friends just from getting out on the water today. How many times we end up talking or calling each other?
Yep.
And a lot of times it's never even about fishing. It's,
absolutely.
Just, hey, what are you doing and what's up? And that's what folks really don't know about the outdoors that aren't totally involved in it. Man, it's a small network of guys. We all get to know each other, and it's awesome. So
absolutely.
Well, we're going to have a little fun for a second, and I didn't tell you this was coming, but I've got a little package of giveaways over here, and I'm going to have somebody guess when the first year, back when I used to fish in tournaments and have a little bit of fun, just, running around chasing these fish, trying to win a little money, and sometimes very not successfully, but always giving a whirl. But One Call Concepts, those folks, they're involved in the 811 message and support it, and they have call centers that take those phone calls, and they actually, have a locating company as well. But, they make this show happen as well, and they sent a package of stuff over to us with this nice duffel bag right here. Go ahead and, well, you'll have to aim it on.
I can't see.
Well, you can't see. Hang on, we're having technical difficulty here of figuring out how to see. Well, here's a package of stuff that we have right here. Let's see. Can you see it now?
No, it's behind. It's behind.
Huh?
You're good. Can you see it?
Okay, yeah, I can see it.
There you go.
We got a One Call Concept umbrella. We got an 811 hat with the One Call Concept logo. We've got a great duffel bag. I actually traveled this. We've got a Denali spinning rod. They have these small spinning rod reels. That's not a rod, that's a reel. But they have these reels for their crappie series. We have a little speaker right here. If somebody can tell me the first year that I won a tournament, a little local tournament, what year, we're going to give this away. And if somebody doesn't guess it here in just a second, we're going to give it away to somebody on the screen anyway. Is anybody going to take a guess? I don't know who all's still on here, so we're going to have to see. Oh, yeah, they join, get on and off, and everything else. That's Facebook Live for you. All right, anybody popping up? Your live viewers. Anybody going to guess what year? Oh, you're close. You're going to need to go. I'm a little older than that, by the way. So repeat the question, Megan Wade said. Hey, wait a minute, Tracy Bryant, you, 1984. I'm not that old. I was still in high school. I graduated in 91. So we're going to go forward. Let's see. John Illy Lindsay says 1991. Gee, y'all are getting all over this thing right here. Somebody's going to need to nail it down. See, I'm even going to go back, Matt, and hold an old. You know, sometimes you get a bit
old
get
plaque.
proud of these old little bitty things. They're all in a box collecting dust. I'm still proud of them. 2001, nope, 1989. You're going to need to go forward a little. If you look on this thing, you can zoom in somehow. The date's on it. Oh, Brian Best, you're all over it, but you just missed it by a little. So what year did I win my first small local tournament? And we got a great package right here, One Call Concepts put together. 1992, y'all going backwards. 1989, you're going the wrong way. 1811, Megan Wade. I mean, what are you trying to say about my gray hair, Megan Wade? Zach Shields, you're just a little too far behind. Hey, whoever's 1994, James South, right there, you just nailed it. In May 21st of 1994, I won my first little board, and I was proud of this and still am today, winning a little FOP tournament back in my young day. A lot of fun. I enjoyed all them tournament days. And what great memories you get from a little old plaque like that. And, of course, it's in a box collecting a little dust nowadays. But so, James South, if you can make sure his name was right, I'm going to get your, let's see, hey, wait a minute. James says that he is.
We can get it afterward.
Hang on here. He put on here something about Denali. Fellow Denali Pro staff member. Well, James, where are you from? If you can pop that on the screen there.
We'll get his information after.
Oh, I just want to know where he's from.
Yeah.
And then he can send us his information afterwards. You can send us a message with your info. It'll be great. But, well, that was just a little fun for this week. And, Matt, once again, awesome pleasure getting to fish with you. I hope you enjoyed being on the direction with us, because that's what it's all about, fun, having a good time. And then we get on, we call this After the Bite.
Yes.
And we get on here and we talk about the fishing side of it and what products and so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm going to let you say a few last words here.
I am, since you just did your little giveaway there, I'm going to round up a goodie bag and send it to you for the next one, with some products in there. And we'll have to come up with a question for it. See if anybody can get it.
We're going to bring you over here more often sending us giveaways. We're liking you, man. But once again, man, I want to thank you for getting on the episode. Enjoyed you taking time away from work and you know, your family life to go out there and be with me and Cliff and share a great day. And just appreciate you and appreciate all you folks watching the direction. Next week, we got another great episode coming out. Join us. We might have another giveaway. It sounds like Matt's going to be getting something. So, folks, we'll talk to you later. Watch the direction. Next Tuesday night, 7:30, Pursuit Channel. Always call 811 before you dig.